I love horses. I love horse people. But some of the things we do makes absolutely zero sense. And today, I'm judging us all. Hey, it's Adri with her horse, and let's talk about things that horse people do that make absolutely zero sense. But we do it anyway. Number 1, we own expensive animals, but we still refuse to spend money on ourselves. We'll drop like $4,000 on a vet bill without blinking. Yeah, no worries. Whatever my horse needs. But God forbid we replace our 10-year-old riding boots that are literally falling apart. Like water seeping through, they're not even waterproof anymore. That we have to have a discussion and wager whether it's actually worth the money to replace. Like your feet aren't getting totally soaked yet, so it's probably okay. Give them another year. Number 2, driving an hour to go see your horse, and that's literally it. You're not riding, you're not training, you're just there to stand and essentially stare at your horse and watch them eat and breathe, and then leave. Now, don't get me wrong. It makes total sense to just have experiences with your horse where you're just bonding with them, spending time with them, because ultimately horses don't owe us anything. And it's not always about riding. Sometimes you just want to hang out with your horse. But from the outside viewer's perspective, this seems really weird if you think about it. Like, what other type of animal do you go so far out of your way just to like watch them or hang out with them? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to everybody. And if I really think about it, I'm like, you know what? I love my horse. I'll do it. But I can definitely see how that would not make sense to a non-horsey person. Number 3, saying, oh, I'll just be 20 minutes, half hour, and I'll be right back. This is a blatant lie, even if you don't mean it to be one at the time. You know darn well you're going to be at that barn for a minimum of 2 hours, because it takes time to, if you have to use the bathroom, you have to go to the tack room, get your halter and lead rope. You have to clean your horse once you catch them. You have to tack them up, warm them up, ride them, cool down, give them a good brush afterwards. Sometimes you have to give your horse a pre or post riding massage. Sometimes you just want to let your horse explore the barn, and you get chatting with the barn buddies about what's going on with their horse or how was your weekend. Horse people are chatty. We all love our horses and we love to talk about them. So anytime you ask how long will it be, I cannot tell you how long I will be away for. I just know that it's a minimum of 2 hours before you see my face again, okay? And that is true for most horse people. We can't tell you how long we'll get sucked into the horse world. Number 4, horse people, we complain about the weather 365 days out of the year. The weather's either too hot, or it's too cold, or it's too windy, or too muddy. Sometimes it's too dry, too buggy. There has never in the history of horses ever been a correct weather for horses. And there will never be. Horse people, we don't make sense. Nobody claims that horse people are in their right mind. That's why we're into horses in the first place. Number 5, normalizing injuries that in regular circumstances would be considered abnormal and serious. Or at the very least, concerning. Normal people would be like, oh my God, are you okay? Do you need to go to the hospital? Do you want some ice? Like, you need to sit down? Oh my God, don't get back on your horse. But no, horse people are like, oh, I just got bucked off and landed on a fence. It's fine. It's just a little bruise. I'm getting back on the horse. I just got kicked a little bit. Just a little. Insane. Ma'am, you are limping. But you know what? That's horse people for you. Number 6, refusing to leave the barn even when it's absolutely miserable. Is it freezing cold and you can barely feel your fingers and maybe you're just a couple minutes away from frostbite? But horse people will still look around and be like, I should probably sweep, or I should probably brush my horse's tail. It's been a while. Or you know what? Today's probably the day I should trim my horse's mane. Give my horse a haircut. It's horse haircut day. Even though your fingers are about to fall off and you can't actually feel them. Number 7, using horse math. Horse math is a real thing. You might not be able to afford your favorite snacks at the grocery store, but because you have your priorities straight, you can definitely afford that new saddle pad. It's so pretty, and it looks really good on your horse. Also, what if the saddle pad's like on sale? You have to get it. Sales don't last forever. We all know this. And you can never have too many saddle pads. Well, I guess you could, but that's not fun. That's not the world I want to live in. I want to live in a world where you can have as many saddle pads as your little heart desires without judgment. And it's fun to dress your horse up. Number 8, explaining horse things as if everybody understands and everybody you talk to is a horse person. This does not make sense, but we do it pretty much every time we're talking to a non-horsey person. You'll just be sitting there chatting up some non-horsey person about how you're going to need to scout out your next hay supplier because your horse potentially had an ulcer flare-up from an iffy batch of hay. And you're just going on and on about it, and the non-horsey person is just like staring blankly at you. Like, what are you going on about? Anyway. Or we're talking about how we're so happy the thrush powder is finally back in stock because you're sick of having to put the anti-thrush liquid on your horse's hooves when the issue is your horse's hooves are wet and it's making your horse's thrush worse because your horse's feet are perpetually wet. And why does not every tack shop in the area stock this darn powder? It can kind of be a lot for non-horsey people to take in, and I apologize. I'm sure I've done this to you. It can't be helped, and I have no self-control. I have no control over it whatsoever. Number 9, staying at toxic barns way longer than you should. Now, most people, if they don't like the environment, be it work, housing, they'll make a plan to exit. But horsey people, we're different. If we find a barn and we like the location, it doesn't matter how toxic the barn is, we can be a little hesitant to leave. I definitely know people who have stayed at boarding facilities where people were a little bit catty because the arena footing was nice. Horse people, I gotta tell you. I don't know what's going on with us, but we're a silly people. Or we just assume emotional damage is just part of the package. Yeah, you have access to the arena, trails, and will crush your self-esteem from time to time. Sure. Number 10, equestrians and horse people saying, I'm done with horses, that is it. And then immediately going right back into being involved with horses again. We have all said it. None of us have meant it. Very, very few of us actually mean it. I'm telling you, that horse bug starts young, and it does not leave. I say all of this with love because horse people are some of the weirdest, but toughest, most dedicated humans on the planet. If I missed one, drop it in the comments. I know you're all thinking about at least 5 more. For more horse videos, don't forget to subscribe to Adri with Our Horse, and I will see you guys next week. Bye for now.